Drag and drop templates make website design so much easier. This is tutorial number 5, building a website homepage. You can do it. Yes, you can. And I'm going to show you how. Hi, I'm Candace. Welcome to Websites Made Easy with Candace. This tutorial series is based on the chapters of my book, I Need a Website, What Do I Do Now? If you want to follow along, you can purchase my book on Amazon.com. This tutorial is an introduction to drag and drop template design. I'm going to show you how easy this can be. We're going to build a home page for LULU Small Business, Lulu and Friends Doggy Daycare. So go to Wix.com and click on the blue Start Now button. On the next page, click the blue Get Started button. Now sign up using your email address and then click Continue. Type in your password. I suggest using your own instead of the automatic password. Now you're on the Create Your First Site page. Click the blue button on the upper right side, Create New Site. And here are your categories. I chose Business. Wix will give you a choice to let them create a website for you using their ADI format, or you can create your own using the Wix editor. While ADI is pretty amazing, it doesn't have the customization that businesses need, at least not yet. On your own, check it out. It's kind of fun, but you'll see what I mean. So for today, choose the Wix editor, click on the Choose a Template button. It's going to take us to the next page. Pick the website template you love. Wix has over 500 templates, and as you can see, they're all professionally done. They have great fonts that go together. They've already made the decisions about the color. They're very clean, very trendy. But there's like 500 of them to go through, 14 pages there. So what you want in a website builder is a company that categorizes their templates by business type. We're in the doggy daycare business, so we want something that's pertinent to dogs and to animals. We might go through hundreds of these sites and decide on something that doesn't work with our business specifics. So you want to go in and find where your business is and load up a template that fits your business type. So if we go into business and services and we drag down, you see they have all kinds of templates that are specific to different business types. And here's pets and animals, so let's try it. Now, when you get into these templates, you can see when you hover over, you have a choice to view or to edit. So you view it. If you like it, you can start editing. And looking at this page, the first one, pet care, very popular format right now because it's like that bullseye, you know, like at Target. You know, you look at it and your eye goes directly to the dog, and then pet care is really big. It's clean. One of the things you want to remember about when you do website design is you do not want your viewers to have to think and go through a lot of information to find out what you're about. You want to give it to them really clearly up front. Lewis Chicken Farm, another very popular format right now. It's the stretch screen. And you can do that with a picture, or you could add slideshows in here or even a video. And you can see the next two here, these two are very clean. You want it to have lots of space. Here again, so people don't get confused. So it's a pleasant experience. They don't want to have to make too many decisions. This one, and this one are block design, where they separate the screen. This one is an uneven separation. This is right down the middle. And it too is a very popular design because people can focus quickly. They see the picture, they see the words, they don't have to think. This one over here, Save a Pet, a little bit more confusing, too many words down there. Oh, and here we have dog daycare. It doesn't look that interesting, but let's take a look at it. It might be something we want. Okay. Boring. I don't like this one at all. It's just not very interesting. Woo, there's a little movement there. But it doesn't offer a really strong format that you can put pictures in and use. This site is just giving you information, and people I wouldn't stay around and take a look at this. Oh, and that's even worse. Too many words. It's just not engaging. And that's what you want to do. You want to be interesting and engaging. So let's go back. Let's take this one here. Let's see what this one's like. I like that one. All right. Clean. This is spatial. This is what we want. This is very popular. That's fun. That's fun. You want to have something like that on there. That keeps people interested. You have this section that you can add some pictures or some information. This is good. This is a gallery. They have four in the gallery. If you hover over, you see it's a testimonial, or you could have any kind of information that when you hover, it will come up. And sometimes it doesn't block the dog out. You still have the dog's picture and the information on top of it in black. I don't like this particular map, but we can change it. I'm not wild about the contact form, but we can change it. Wix has lots and lots of apps, so you can make all kinds of adjustments. Let's see what the About page is like. Ooh, okay. This is a one-page design. One-page design is not used as much now, and the reason is it takes up too much power and energy and slows down the loading of the site. And you want people to get on your site within 2 or 3 seconds, because if they don't, they'll go somewhere else. Speed is very important. And a one-page site takes up a lot of your speed. So people if you have separate pages, it's one, on this you have 4 or 5 pages. It's 1/5 the amount of time that you're going to, speed that you're going to use. So you want to use different pages. And that's okay though. All of these pages are anchored to the home page. We'll just take the anchors out and we'll have separate pages. Also, people didn't like to drag down and then have to drag back up. They've solved a little bit of that problem by sticking this menu, so when you drag down, the menu goes with you, and then you can just hit back up. But it's not real fast. So we'll change that. One of the things, Wix has all kinds of flexibility. So let's edit this site. Let's get started. It'll be fun. We're not going to use the same colors either. We're going to change everything. But we're going to use that format, which is really nice. It's a nice framework. We're in the website editor now. And you see the grid lines. The reasons the grid lines are there is to let you know that if somebody's on a cell phone, they're going to see mainly the center part. And anything on the far left or the far right is not going to be seen unless you arrange it on your cell phone. So what you can do on if you look up here, you see that little rectangle, that is your desktop computer. And right beside it is the cell phone. So you can go into that module when you're finished, and instead of seeing this, you can take this picture and put it on top and this and put it on bottom, and people won't get that same line. You have to move it around a little bit, but you have a lot of options. You can see over here too, you have these menu and pages, you have the background. You can add any kind of background, color backgrounds, video backgrounds, images, and you can add all kinds of things, text, pictures, buttons, the gallery that I was talking about, the little dogs here on that's a gallery. You can see how it's one of these galleries where you have them in a line. There are all kinds of options you can have for galleries too. Interactive things. So there's a lot of things that you can work with, and they have hundreds of apps that you can add. If you don't like an app that you've got, you can go in like forms. Like I don't like that contact form, so now they're going to give me all kinds of others. Most of them are free, but some of the forms cost something. So it's up to you. I think you can do all of this for free, so you shouldn't have to pay for your template or anything else. So what we want to do first is go back up to the top, and we're going to work with our header. So we're going to add text. So you go over here and you hit text, and we want to double click on a heading text. And when you do, it'll come up. Usually it's lower center. And then you're going to drag it. Drag and drop is what we're about here. We're going to take that and we're going to drag it to the top. And then it's a different font, and we're going to have to put our heading in there. I'm not using Georgia. When I set up Lulu and Friends, I'm using as the two fonts that I'm using are Patrick Han and Josephine. So Patrick Han is the first one I'm going to use. That's my main one. Now I've typed it in, but it will not go. If I just hit return, it's not going to work. I have to choose it in the list, okay? And my colors for this, they're going to be orange and cream and black. So I'm not going to be using this green. So I'm going to change the color for the heading, and I'm going to make it my orange that I'm using. And you see it's not there. So I have to add the color. Now all colors, we'll be talking in the next tutorial about colors. All colors have a number assigned to them, so you can remember them wherever you go and whatever you use. One of the nice things about Wix is it will put that color into your color picker, so you don't have to add it from then on. So let's add the color, and there it is. That's my orange. So we want that orange. So we want a different size, maybe a little bit larger. Okay, so now we want to type it. Let's type in Lulu and Friends. And what you do here, you want it all on the same line. You're going to stretch this so it all fits. Okay, and I want to add another line underneath that, doggy daycare. So I've got that heading. I'm going to drag it up. And this font is Josephine. So I'm going to edit the text, and I'm going to type in, and then pull it, click it from there. I like this, that it's a little bit light. It might be a little bit big, so I'll do that. I'm not going to make it bold. Let's just go with this. Let's see how that works. So now if I edit the text and write doggy daycare, I like the size, but I want it to be the whole length. So maybe I'll just add a space in between all of these letters. And here again, we're going to have to stretch it, stretch the box that it's in. And now it's a little bit long. So we're going to edit the text again, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Oops. So that it ends right there. Okay? So there we have it. And the other thing I think I'm going to do, looking back at Lulu and Friends, Maybe we'll make this fun, a little bit more fun. We're going to grab this down. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to maybe make this bold. And then I'm going to have to do that again. I'm going to have to pull the, because now it's made it bigger. There you go. All right. And we're going to set this up so it's right together. And then if you look on Lulu and Friends, you see this right here. We can animate it. That's fun. So we can make it boing in or slide in. We can do all kinds of little fun things. There's a spinner. Which one's a spinner? There's a spinner. Always like the spinner. All right. And that's kind of fun. You can slide in or you can just pop in. Ooh, that's good. So let's just pop in. Maybe we'll do that. We'll pop in. So if you go up to the top, you can't see it here, but right up on the top there's Save and then Preview. So we're going to hit Preview and you'll see how it comes in. That's pretty cool. And then you're going to go back to Editor and you want to change this. First of all, you don't want it to be green. And you want to change these to pages instead of anchoring to the home page. So if you click on this, it'll say Manage Menu. And you see all of this, you see that little anchor? That anchors it to the home page. We don't want that. So we're going to get rid of all those anchors. And we're going to put our own in there. Our own pages. So once we get rid of all of that, we're going to add a page. And then we're going to rename the page. And this one's going to be About. We're going to have an About page. We're going to add a pricing page. I mean, get it right out there how much it costs. Maybe we'll add a blog page, you know, what's new, and a contact page. Okay, that's done. Now, you see we have 5 pages like they did. You don't want to have more than 7. So you can always add news or specials or anything else in there later. The other thing we want to do is to go back into this field and you want to hit the design because we don't want it to be green. So you hit Custom Design and you're going to change the text to Josephine instead of Avenir. And I think I'm going to do this one bold since it's a heading. So there's the bold. And maybe we'll make it a little bit bigger. Maybe not that big. And then we're going to hover. Our hover color is not going to be green. We're going to make it our orange. And then when someone clicks on the color, we want it to be orange. Okay? But the text color, regular color that we want is going to be black. Black is always 0, 0, 0. That's the color we want. There's always 6 numbers and letters. Black is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then white is 6, F, 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 6 times. All right, so there we go. We got that. The only other thing we want to add on here, we want to drag this down so it's in line. You see how easy it is to make things in line? And you want it to be in line with the with doggy daycare. And then we want to add an address and a telephone number. So we're going to add another text and let's make it a little bit smaller. So we're going to grab it, pull it up here. And then put change our maybe we'll make it bold. And then we'll check the size when we finish. And go ahead and start typing in whatever your address is. Oh, Scott is here. So it's too big. I can already tell that. And then it'll, as you return, it'll make the box bigger to accommodate everything. So, Bow Wow Land. All right, USA. And then maybe a space between, we want to put our telephone number. And then underneath that would be your address. And looking at this, it's way too big. So let's go back and reduce the size. You want people to be able to see it, but you don't want it to dominate. And maybe you want your number to be a little bit bigger, so you can alter that. There you go. All right. Now you see what's happened is everything's kind of crazy. This is dropped down, so you want to drag this back up. And you want to drag this so it's up here. And you notice we're on the contact page, and we really want to get back to the home page. So what you do here is just go back to home. I'll take you to the home page. And then you want this to also be in line. Maybe move it over a little bit. We just want this to be over here. We want it on the same line as doggy daycare. And we want this to be in the middle of, you see that purple line? We want that to be in the middle. Now this is way too big, so we're going to click on this, and you see this little drag line? I'm going to drag it back up. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to do it. There we go. So just don't give up. Just keep playing with it. Okay, so there we go. We got that in there. If you go to preview up here, and you can see, there's Lulu and Friends. Okay, go back to the editor, and now we want to change our pictures. All right, so we don't want to manage the columns. We want to change the pictures. So change column background. And we want to put a different image in there. Now here are all you want to put all of your images. Now I've already picked up my image that I want to put in there. So I've already chosen them, but I'll just drag them because I've got them here. Okay, so I'm going to take all of these and copy them and drag them there. And they're going to upload them. So you can see them uploading all the files. There you go. Those are the, I'm not sure how many I added. And each one of these you can alter when you get them in too. When you click on it, you can alter the size like this. And you can alter, remember when you hover over it? This could be Jake and Sally playing with it. You could add that tag in there and it'll come up. So it looks like all my uploads are complete. So what I want to add on this page, not Jake and Sally, but the dog cam. That's what I want to add. So there we go. Now looking at it, it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to go to image. And then I'm going to take my dog cam, and then I'm going to crop and edit it. So I want the eyes to be seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this up so it's smaller, and you can see the dog's eyes, okay? So let's save it. And when we save it, we'll change the background. Let's see if that works. There we go. There they are. You can hit preview and see what it looks like. That's what I want. All right, back to editor. Now I'm not Nicole. We're going to dump that. So you just click on it and then delete. Click and delete. And then here it says change column background. I'm going to pick up my image right there, Lulu and Friends. That's her logo. I'm going to put the logo in there. Perfect. Preview. That's what it's going to look like. All right, we're getting going. It's kind of fun. All right, so down here, this was an about page, and we're going to do a different about page. So we want to click on all these words, and we're going to do it differently. I'm going to do it all differently. And I had a little blurb that I wrote out. Come play with Lulu. So I'm going to grab my text and I'm going to add a heading, and I'm going to make it a lot bigger because it's going to be over this entire frame. And then I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to edit the text, and I'm going to change it to Patrick Hand. That's what I'm working with. And it's going to be what color? Orange, which I've already got in there. And I'm going to make it a whole lot bigger, I think. I'm going to make this bigger. And then I'm going to type in, what did I say? Come play with Lulu. Where is that? Let's take a look and see what I had there. Anyway, come play with Lulu. Maybe make it bigger because it should fill up that whole area. If it doesn't move, then highlight it and you can get it bigger. And maybe put an exclamation mark there. Move this now. You want to move it up a little bit. And make sure it's in the center here. This is where you want it. And then I've added this this little blurb here. Your dog can have fun running, jumping, and hanging out with doggy friends. We have an on-site veterinarian, and our staff is certified animal behavior. So it's something I've put in here, and I'm just going to save time. I'm going to add text, add, and this will be text. So I'm going to add a paragraph, right? There we go. And I'm not going to write that now, but I'm going to click this down. And here again, I need to change the font, and I need to change the words. So we're not going to do that now, but it's going to be a lot of text. So you're going to go in, you're going to change the font to the one that I've been using, Josephine. And I think I'll leave it light, but maybe I'll make the words a little bit bigger here. There you go. And then I'm going to also make the box a little bit bigger. Okay. Edit text, just so you get the idea of what the words will look like. All right. And then we're going to go down to our guys here. This is really going to be great. So I'm going to click on this, change strip background. I'm going to go to my images, and there it is. I'm going to grab this one. Hopefully it'll fit. And let's see how it works. So you go into preview, and so you have doggy daycare, come play with Lulu. There you go. Isn't that cool? All right, so we're going to save. You want to save it so you don't lose it, right? So now we're going to go back to the editor. And the good thing about saving something is if you get in trouble, you can always get it back. So if you work on this for 2 or 3 days and then something happens and you've lost all your information, Wix has a history site that you can go back to yesterday or the day before if you save it, and you can pick it up. I just think that's cool. Isn't that looking good? That's looking good. Okay, so back to editor. And now here again, we don't want dog walking. We don't want this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to click and delete, click and delete, click and delete. And we're going to do something, pictures of what we have. We have an outdoor place and we have an indoor. And so we're going to get rid of all of this and show our indoor dog facilities and our outdoor dog facilities. We go to add, and then we want images from my image uploads. Then we're going to take this one and this one. And then we're going to get the other two. just separate them, probably. And then we're going to add the other ones too. Is this one? Oh, and that one. So when they're not next to each other, you have to do it one at a time. Otherwise, you could take the whole sequence. And then the last one is that one. Okay, so let's put the pool on one side and the yard on the other. So let's add. And we want them all to be about the same size. So it looks like they're a little bit different. So let's take this guy and you just pull it from the corners to make sure they're the same size. There we go. And this one as well. That's pretty close. And then this one. Okay, so we want to move that to the right. This one to be in the center along with this. And you can see how much space we have. That should get it pretty well centered. You can see that line too when you're trying to center. That purple line lets you know when everything is in line. Then we're going to add some text at the top. We'll do a heading text. Drag it up, and we want the text to be the length. We want it one line, the length. And we're going to make this one Patrick Han. And we're going to use our orange color. And let's go ahead and type it in. We have 2 play yards and 2 pools. Okay. And let's make that a little bit bigger so we can get it the whole length there. We want people to, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it ought to catch someone's eye. If I go here and drag it, I should get that on one line. There we go. So we want it to be in the center again because if you're on a cell phone, you won't be able to see it. So we'll move it just a little. We'll make it just a tad smaller. Okay. Move it right there to the center. Give it a little space. And when I preview it, it looks like it's a little bit low. So if dog is in, you come in, maybe this needs to be up a little bit. So let's go back. So you're constantly previewing and saving. So let's move these up so it's a little bit closer to the text. See how easy it is? It's actually kind of fun to do. All right, and so then we're going to add on this one. Now this is the gallery. Remember the gallery? Where you can add pictures. So manage media, and you'll go in and you'll see they have these pictures, but we don't want these pictures. So there's a little trash can there. We'll get rid of all of these, and then we'll add our own. Add media. This is going to be the inside play. So we're going to add indoor play here. And then if you put your shift down, you can add this one, add that to the page. We need another one. Let's get that last one. Which one was that? This one. Okay. And add that one. So now we have 4 pictures, and maybe the 2 reds are kind of close together, so maybe we'll split it that way. Okay, that looks good. On these, if you want, you can add a title. Maybe this one we want to call Butch and Tiny. All right, so that's done. So we want to preview this. Sometimes it's a little lag before it gets in. You can see one picture's gone. Go back to the editor. and then go back to Manage Media. All right, so there we go. Now we've got them all in. Say Done, and there they are. There's the cutie pies. If you go to Preview, you can see Butch and Tiny right there. So each one of these you can put titles to it so you can see it. That's the way this one was set up, so it's not hovering, it's just you slide over it. All right. So we want to change, we don't want this green, and we don't want some happy clients. We want to follow, we have 2 play yards and 2 pools and lots of play space maybe. So this one, you want to change that background to our cream color. So let's do the color, which is that cream. Which is the same color as our logo. We don't want some happy clients. We want to get rid of that and that little line there. And maybe we might pull this up just a tad and then pull this up to it. And in this, we want to add some text. And that's going to be what we had up here. We want to just continue it. And we add our font in there, change our font, make it bold. I can't remember what that font was. If you forget, you can always go back and see, check Edit Text. You'll see it was 73. So we want to edit this text and we want to make it 73. We want it to be the same. That looks a lot bigger, doesn't it? Oh, it's because I think this was Patrick Hand. That's right. There we go. Patrick Hand. So there we go. And once again, we're going to slide this all the way to the end. So we have one line. And we're going to make it orange. And now let's type in maybe and lots of play space. Okay, and we have this. We'll move this up a little bit, and there's our guys right there. Down near the end. I said I didn't like this map. I really would prefer the map on the contact page. So we'll put it on a contact page and we'll use another one. I'm not wild about this map. And I want to put a picture there. But I also think the contact me should be on the other side. So this is 2 columns that are together. So you can click on Manage Columns. And here we have, this is column 1, this is column 2. So if you hit column 2, and you hit this arrow, that will move it to the right and then moves this one over here. And we're going to get rid of this one anyway, so let's just hit delete. Okay, and then you've got your contact here. Let's roll down a little bit more. Might pull it up just a tad so it's connecting. Maybe a little bit more space here. So on this page, first of all, we don't like that background. That's that ugly background. I'm going to put a picture there, so let's see if that will work. Maybe we don't need it. So let's change the column background. Let's put an image in. I think we have one left. Oh, here we go. It's this one. We're going to change the background and put that one in. Let's see how that works. There we go. That's nice. And then, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger here. Probably not. And then we're going to leave that there. And then we're going to go over here to Contact Me. And maybe what we'll do is we'll change this background and we'll put a color, and maybe we'll use our orange color. There we go. Oh, that makes it spice it up a little. And maybe, you know, maybe we can make this bigger, But another thing is we might just want to, we can change the fonts so that you have the fonts that we've been using, Patrick Han maybe. And maybe we'll do it white this time because it'll show up a little bit better. Maybe we'll make it bold, and we'll certainly make it bigger. Contact me. And instead of contact me, maybe just contact. We don't need contact me. Do something by mistake and you accidentally move this and you didn't want to. You didn't want to delete it. You see up here, you can always undo and it's back. All kinds of helps. All right, so we want to make this, probably we want to do it a little bit larger as well. Let's make it white. And let's change the font as well to Patrick Han. And maybe we'll take, maybe instead of Patrick Han, we'll go with Josephina. Let's see, Josephine instead. It's better. And make it bold because those are what we've been using. And we'll also make it bigger. You want that to be bigger. These are your social links and social media links. Let's move those to the bottom. I'll be dealing with those later. Actually, we're running out of time, but this really, I would prefer putting it on the footer. And we do have a footer down here, but we're not going to have time to work with it. So let's move this up a little bit closer. And here again, we might want to do the phone number, just the phone number itself. We might want to make that a little bit bigger, just to get our point across, so people will call. And then this form, like I said, it's better if you can add different forms. We don't have time, but you can either have an app and you type in a contact form, and then you can download all of these different apps, which is great. And if you see, most of them are free. Or you could hit add, and then if we've got a section here. Wix has a section contacts and forms. There's only 3, but you could add one of these and work with it. This goes with the site, but it's really not very good. And one of the problems is we can edit the field and put our text in there, but you have to. The problem is you can't extend it. It doesn't extend. So you have to do it individually. So it's very time consuming. And I'm just going to leave it at that to how to do it. Just like when you enlarge a picture, you can do that. So, and then you pull your message down and make it bigger too. And maybe you want this one to go a little bit bigger. So you need to extend your box to the size you want it. And then individually you have to change each section. So your name would be a little bit longer, your email, and you want those lines, of course, to be the same. So alternate it up. I never think they leave enough room for email, but you can play around with that. Line it up. And then, of course, message. You want to put it in here. And then you see at the very bottom, it's nice. At the very bottom, they have thanks for submitting. And I think I'm going to take that off. And the other thing we need to do is your settings. Go into design. Remember, that's where you check everything, custom design. And here your text. You don't want your text to be their text. You want it to be yours. So drag down. Instead of open sans, we'll put our text in it. And maybe we'll make it bold. Okay. And then the other thing we're going to do is Doesn't look like it changed though, did it? Doesn't look like it to me. Let's try it one more time. We want our text and our input color to be, all of it to be black. This one as well. And then we want Thin slab, and maybe the font size. That looks pretty good. We could go with that. And then submit. It's not right there in the middle. We want to put that maybe right there. All right. And then we're ready to go. We hit save, and then we'll hit preview. And you see where it says publish your site so people can see it? You can publish it for free and then play around with it. So if you hit it done, you'll see that your site now is published, but it'll be published under my site, under Wix's site. So you want to change that later. So let's do a preview and see, just go back up to the front and see to the top and see what we've got. Lulu and Friends, there your menu. Then you can drag down, come play with Lulu. There we go, 2 yards to play indoor spaces. Looks pretty good. So you can continue to tweak it. You need to always try and adjust the design. It's good to go into your site even after you complete it 2 or 3 times a week and make adjustments. Google likes to see that you're updating things, and that'll help you with your SEO. And we'll be talking about that later in another tutorial. So I see already the address and phone number. There's not enough space between that in the menu. And doggy daycare. Daycare is 2 words, whereas in the logo, it's 1 word. So let's go back to the editor. Let's drag this over to the right. Make sure that it still gets your lining up so it's still in line. And then go over to doggy daycare, edit it, and take those spaces out between dog day and care. Okay, that looks better. And then you can hit preview and see. There you go. That's much better. And yeah, later on, I'll probably go back and try and add a little bit more spacing. Go back to the editor and drag down and check your text. You want to make sure that you don't have any spelling errors. And one of the things you need to keep in mind is you want to keep it short. People are not going to read long paragraphs. Dragging down. One of the things that bothered me was, and if you look in the preview here, that brown is not what we want in our gallery. It's not in our color scheme. So let's go back to the editor, and then we will do settings. And always when you change colors, you go into design. So go into design and do overlay and icons. And that's where we want to change that color. And we can make it orange. It's a little bright. Or our other color, which is cream. But if we do the cream, then the words, the text here is too light. So we need to change that as well. We'll go back. There's text. We'll want to hit text. And we'll want to make that black. All right, so that's set up. Go up to our preview. And you can see when you start at the top, you drag down. And then when you get to play lots to our gallery, you want to hit over, and there we go. We've got the lighter color, our color scheme, and the dark letters. And then maybe I want to change the contact. I still don't like that very much, but have more time to do that. And then I'll work on the footer, but also I might want to change some of the pictures. Constantly update. You don't want to put a website up and just let it sit there. So that was fun. We come to the end of tutorial number 5, and I want to thank everyone for hanging in there for 45 minutes. I hope you learned a lot, and it's just the beginning. So you need to practice on all the platforms and get familiar with the tools and the technology. The next tutorial, number 6, is going to be on color. And I love color. You're going to love color. I might do 2 tutorials on color because color will really make your website pop. It's so important. It's one of the most important things in your website design. So, color for the next time. In the meantime, check out the platforms, the drag and drop platforms. Experiment. Have fun with it. Don't get frustrated. It's all necessary now, so when we do get to the point we're going to build that website, you've got to be ready. You got to feel comfortable with drag and drop design. So for now, explore the possibilities, have some fun, and Lulu and I'll see you next time. Drag and drop templates